25. On play action, now Carr. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. Well, these two teams, they met up in Denver earlier this season with the Broncos winning that one. So they're looking for the series sweep here in Denver. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Got a man. It's Darren Waller. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Bradley Chubb in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. On play action, it's Carr. Under pressure, and they got to him again. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. Now make that a 2nd sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
93. 93, 694.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone. This time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
Now a play fake. Carr. He finds his man. Complete. That's Jacobs. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. To throw his Carr. He's got Fuller. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a big conversion there on third down, and this has been a great opening drive. You know, at this point, they'd hate to settle for 3, but they've created a fresh set of downs and a 1st and goal.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. He's at the 50, 30, 10, 5, and he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Second and goal from the 6 this time. One more time with Jacobs. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll run it with Jacobs. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. It'll be called a gain of 2, and now leave him with some options here on 4th and inches. Well, if this defense can hold him to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. But this started with 1st and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown.
And Carr's going to keep it himself. And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Derek Carr, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Raiders' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at the 20. Play action. Now Wilson. That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A nice gain of 21 yards.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Hustling through to break that play up, Max Crosby. The Broncos at 7-2 here on the year. And they come in on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. It's a jet sweep. Wilson with a little pop pass. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up third downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I'm guaranteeing it started in the offseason. Third down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. And some space here. The 20. 10. And all the way home for a Broncos score.
Bottom line, when you play a runner with these talents, you've got to be able to wrap up and get him on the ground. Or the first person who gets there, hold him up long enough for the next wave to get there and get him down. Otherwise, he will continue downfield and find pay dirt.
McManus's point after is good, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Play action. Now it's Carr. He's got a man. Complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
What now?
The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Jacobs going to try the middle. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Meanwhile, Carr's throw taken in here by Fuller. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. They lulled them to sleep there, so to speak. That was all set up by the running game, wasn't it?
Another example of what all offensive coordinators tell us. When the running game's operating, it really opens up the playbook, and that's when they hit them with the play action. And you can see the defenders rushing towards the line of scrimmage, then scrambling back, trying to cover. Couldn't get there in time.
Well scripted. They had the big running play, now the big passing play. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Carr going to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. 11 yards for number 11.
And that's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you want to give him a little extra for the effort. But instead, he sets his guys up in excellent shape for a 1st and goal.
And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Carr. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Jacobs will cross the line. He's in. Touchdown, Raiders. And they would not be denied on the ground, powering it in just one play after they got stopped short.
And how about how many tight ends are on the field? Because in today's NFL, we think of the tight end more as a pass catcher. But this group, they tell them you've got to be able to run block to stay on this team. And they committed to it and got it done right there.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's a give up the middle. It's Gordon. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter, 14-7. Coming up on 2nd and 7. They go play action now. Wilson. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Chandler Jones, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. This is brought in at the 21. And that one a 55-yard punt, 13 on the return. And it'll be Raiders football 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with a 14-7 lead, they might just be happy to take this thing on into the tunnel. He sees Fuller on the out route, and it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Under pressure, and down he goes. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Carr, he'll buy some time right. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
So after the sack, Carr in Las Vegas with a 3rd and long. He'll drop to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Now, if you're going to get rid of it, you better get outside the pocket.
Yeah, you have to get outside of that tackle-to-tackle box, right? Get out there, and then you can do it legally, but he wasn't able to do so, and they end up losing the down as well.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Raiders are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. But I think the Raiders are going to be able to hold on to it, yes. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. They'll run it up the middle now. Gordon. Divine Diablo there to make the stop.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. On the counter, here's Williams. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action with Wilson. Forced out to his left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. They'll give it to Gordon out of the shotgun. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Play action. It's Wilson. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Rocky Sin. And the Raiders are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
They were well aware of the scoreboard as they went into halftime, and they know how tough it's been to put up any kind of points. But if there's a positive after that play, is that they were able to take a shot at the end zone on their opening drive of this half. The negative, though, that shot at 6 ended in an interception, and we know that's not going to jumpstart this struggling offense.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
They'll try and get the ground game going. Here's Gordon. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Throwing is Wilson. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Right back to Jeudy, and it's complete. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 2nd down, Williams. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Javonte Williams, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos are an extra point away from drawing level. Extra point from McManus is good. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Phillips now from the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They start from scratch here, so to speak. 14-all following the interception last time that led to a score. Now they've got it 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 37 yards.
As we've seen over the years, offense coordinators will often ease their way into drives. Many of them don't want to risk a turnover or put their defense in a bad spot, but not in this case.
Not at all. Forget about easing into it. They took a shot. It worked. Now a first carry for Brandon Bolden. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Throwing now is Carr. And the pass complete to Waller on the out route. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Throwing on first down is Carr. Throw left side complete. That's Jacobs. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Throwing again on 2nd down. Carr and Waller taking it in over the middle. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 19. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
29. 29. Right Monday down.
On play action, it's Carr. And he's got it. Touchdown Raiders. Will Fuller. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Right after the touchdown to extend their lead, now maybe opening the door a little bit there by allowing starting field position at the 40. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Now a handoff. This is Gordon going left. And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. On the delayed handoff, this is Gordon. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Wilson. That's complete. It's Okuwebunam. And I don't think he got there. No. He's short by maybe a foot. Maybe. Call it 4th and inches. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. He'll get that complete to Albert O. And he is going to have a Broncos first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And down to the 36-yard line here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now a handoff. This is Gordon. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 82 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now Williams running left. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
4 yards remain on 2nd down. Ball on the 10. A quick throw caught out wide by Judy. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Wilson gets rid of it quickly, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. This will wind up a loss on the play, and this brings up a 3rd and goal.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. 3rd and goal. And keep in mind, very possibly 4-down territory. Now Wilson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they had to go the length of the field last time out to get into the end zone. And with this starting field position, they're going to have to pretty much do it again.
And I think the thought process going into it is, hey, if you have to be methodical, go ahead and do that. But what you really want are a couple of big plays. Eat up chunks of yardage and cut down the number of times you have to snap the football.
A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell him to take care of the ball, and try and move forward.
to gain a couple there. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Now Carr. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That gain on 3rd down, good for 28.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
No surprise there. He was looking for one of his favorite targets again as soon as he left the pocket. But the coverage was good downfield. They got right to the receiver and helped prevent that completion.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Running it with Jacobs. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
Here's Wilson. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. One final shot now. I'm not even sure he can get it to the end zone, though, from this distance.
That's going to take as much arm as he has, and you actually have to plan for the contingency. Maybe you're playing a tip, try and get someone down who can tip it up and keep it for your own team and try and get to the end zone that way.
One last shot for Wilson. And the Raiders have got him.